Today we are going to be using some veggies out of our fridge that need used up. We have some tomatoes from our garden that need used up, and I'm going to be making my version of eggplant parm. Welcome back to the Dad Days, everyone. If this is your first time finding me, I'm Josh. I'm a stay-at-home dad creating content for more than dads. I make sourdough, whole foods, and non-toxic living simple and easy to learn and apply to your own life. So it's roughly like 2 hours before I'm going to be making the eggplant parm. I just want to remove the leaves. Depending on how big they are, you don't really have to remove them because I'm going to be cutting it off anyway, but I'm just going to be slicing up the eggplant into thin strips. That's how I'm going to be doing my eggplant parm. I try and do it about like that. And then I'm going to be laying it on a grate and salting it fairly heavy to try and draw out some of that moisture before I bread it and fry it in about 2 hours from now. Okay, so I just salted the eggplant. That's just going to help draw out some of the moisture and keep it from getting soggy when I do bread it and fry it. And yeah, it'll sit for about 2 hours and then we'll start the sauce and we'll start the whole process. We have tomatoes that are ready. We're going to be using them in tonight's recipe, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick them. Okay, I'm gonna start dicing up all the vegetables to get the sauce simmering on low, get it going. Then I'll start the frying process for the eggplant. So let's get to dicing some vegetables. I smash my garlic, and then I finely dice it up. We had a leftover sausage in the fridge, so I diced that up. I'm going to add that to my sauce. These are the vegetables that I'm going to start by sweating them in some hot oil. Carrot, peppers. I'll save the fresh basil and the garlic till later. I don't want to burn that, but we're going to get all this in there and start sauteing it together. You can see that the salt drew out liquid on the top of the eggplant. I'm just going to pat that dry with a paper towel, and then it will be ready to bread it and fry it in the skillet. Okay, so the vegetables have been sauteing for a little while. I'm going to put the tomatoes in. I just did a rough chop. It's going to be a chunky sauce that we're doing. So they're just going to go in, and then it's all going to cook together on low for a little while. And towards the end, I'll throw in the garlic and the basil, probably some other seasonings like dry oregano and maybe a little more salt. And yeah, it's more of a chunky ragu type of a sauce. One thing I do is I freeze leftover sourdough bread, and it's easy to just take out a couple slices, toast it till it's really crunchy, and then I have a little blender and I blend it up, and you can make your own breadcrumbs per recipe. When you are baking something and you need breadcrumbs, it's quick and easy to make some. Okay, this is my station. I have my eggplant, my egg wash, my breadcrumbs. So we're gonna go right down the line here into the frying pan. And then as it's done in the frying pan, we're going to move it over here to this. I'm going to put cheese on it, and then it's going to go into the oven for a few minutes to melt the cheese, and then we'll be done. So let's do it. Thanks so much for watching my version of eggplant parm, and we'll call it a homemade harvest sauce. I appreciate it. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you would have done differently, or if you enjoyed how I made it. As always, stay tuned for more Dad Days.